All right, I've been hearing and students have asked me to just describe some basic stat stuff, so I'm going to do it for you. Brass tacks on stats. You start with the relationship. If I were teaching stats to you, I'd start with a t-test, so it's like a mean difference. But you have correlations, or what is known as a purified correlation, or a beta coefficient, or a multiple regression coefficient, right, from multiple regression. So you have some relationship, and your first step is to look at it. So for like a mean difference, you're like, oh, are the two means different? For correlation, you're like, is that a positive relationship, a negative relationship, a zero relationship? What's going on there? For a purified correlation or a beta, you look at it the same way you do a correlation, okay? So what's the difference between correlations and mean differences? Continuous predictors versus categorical predictors, right? Categorical predictors, different conditions, like the load condition. Correlation, your predictor is continuous. Like it could be like openness to experience to emotional stability. And your betas are purified correlations. I'm going to explain in a moment. So you got to know that. You got to look at that. You got to get a sense for what's going on in your data. That's step one. All right. There's some relationship you're looking at. Then your p-value. If it's less than 0.05, this is a scientific discovery. It's significant, right? If it's greater than 0.05, it's an inconclusive result. You know nothing. That is it. So when you look at your results, and a lot of them are p greater than 0.05, that means our data are inconclusive. We tried to test a hypothesis, but we didn't learn anything, okay? When it's less than 0.05, we've made a discovery. There's a relationship. Now, effect size is the next thing, and every one of these have an effect size, and I will walk you through some of these. Literally, is your effect small, medium, or large? Just think of it that way. Do I have a small effect? Small is small. Do I have a medium effect? Medium is medium. And do I have a large effect? Large is large. Right? You know what small, medium, and large mean? That's what they mean. My effect was small. Well, it's not the biggest thing in the world, right? It's a small effect. That's all it means. And then you get an estimate of your effect size in your population, which is your 95% confidence interval of your effect size. So that could be your 95 CI of Cohen's d, or your 95 CI of your correlation, or your 95 CI of your beta. Now, it is a range estimate because there's two values. Any value in the range could be your population effect size. Now, what is multiple regression? Right here, we have a red circle and a purple circle. The red circle represents, let's say it represents an independent variable, right? Or a predictor. And your purple circle represents a DV. Let's give it a context here. Emotional sensitivity and openness to experience. Those are in our data, so I'm just going to use it. So this area of overlap right here, right, is about, you can turn this into a percentage, right? You can say, oh, this is like a third, 33% of the purple circle, right? So emotional sensitivity is associated with 33% of the variability in openness to experience. Now that's just a correlation. This picture represents the idea of R squared, right? So like, cause it's a percentage of a circle, right? That's R squared is a percentage of a circle. That's all it is. Now, multiple regression, what it does is it adds a second predictor. Oh, let's say agreeableness, right? And now, if you're looking here, the pure effect of emotional sensitivity on openness to experience, so the pure effect of the red circle on the purple circle got smaller. So like what you do is you discount any part of the green circle, right? You remove that shared relationship between the green and red circle. All right. And what you're left with is a smaller percentage of the purple circle being predicted, but that is the pure effect of emotional sensitivity on openness to experience after removing the green circle, which I said was agreeableness, right? This little area right here that is between, I don't think you can see my cursor, but that area that is purely associated with red and purple, that represents your beta coefficient, okay? It's the squared beta coefficient. Beta squared if you want. Okay? Additionally, over here, this pure effect where the green circle, but excluding the red, that area represents the multiple regression coefficient for agreeableness. Now, this area where you have the overlap between emotional sensitivity and agreeableness and openness to experience, that represents your interaction. So you have your interaction right here at the middle of this Venn diagram. You have your pure effect of emotional sensitivity on openness to experience, and you have your pure effect of agreeableness on openness to experience. That is all multiple regression does. It removes shared variance between the two independent variables and the dependent variable. So if you're looking at this, right, that area where purple, green, and red are all sort of combining, that area where it's shared variation between the red circle, the green circle, and the purple circle, that little, it's kind of like right there in the middle. It looks like a little Pope's hat. I mean, I just see that. That's what I'm seeing right there. That's your interaction. That's your pure effect of your interaction. Your pure effect of your first independent variable, the red independent variable, is all the area in red that is associated with the purple, but is not associated with green. And then finally, your pure effect of agreeableness is just the green that overlaps with the purple, but there's no red there. So that's this little area over to the left. So bear with me, but I think you can now see like what I'm talking about here. The multiple regression beta, right? The multiple regression coefficient, whatever you call it, right here, this is the pure effect. This represents the pure effect of openness to experience, or of emotional sensitivity on openness to experience. Right? This purple, this like the area that's right here between the purple and red circles bordered by the green. That's the pure effect of emotional sensitivity and openness to experience. You can now see the pure effect of agreeableness on openness to experience. That's this area that's mostly surrounded by the Joker colors here, right? It's this area between this purple, green, and red line. The interaction is the area that looks like the Pope hat, like I said earlier, right? These are all pure effects. If you look, the effect of emotional sensitivity and openness to experience does not include anything, any of the agreeableness or the interaction. The effect of agreeableness on openness to experience does not include the interaction or emotional sensitivity, and the interaction doesn't include either emotional sensitivity or agreeableness. So this is the idea behind multiple regression.